Good morning. It is May 23rd. We are here today for a meeting to take final action on the FY25 operating budgets, the FY25 to 30 capital improvements program, and the FY25 capital budgets. Before we proceed with our business, I would like to take a moment to recognize Memorial Day, which is being celebrated on Monday. I would like to extend my appreciation to all those who serve on behalf of our country and to the families of those who have lost their lives in the service of protecting others. We know that there are many people, many families who have empty chairs at their celebrations and their barbecues, and we're thinking of you today and throughout this weekend and every day for the sacrifice and service. To honor them, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to remember and appreciate those who have passed away in the service of others, in the service of our country. Thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any announcements?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President. Item 19.5, a resolution authorizing the substitution of current revenue for general obligation bonds in FY24 revised has been added to the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we turn to our agenda, I did just want to take a few minutes this morning to express my gratitude to each of my council colleagues for the way in which we've come together as a legislative body with 11 different viewpoints to develop the $7.1 billion operating budget and the $5.84 billion capital improvements program that we are about to take action on. The council put education at the forefront of the budget. We added $157 million in resources for Montgomery County Public Schools over last year, funding 99.2% of the Board of Education's request for a total of $3.3 billion, while adding reporting metrics and accountability standards into the formal budget resolution for the first time ever. Prioritizing education by adding more than $26 million to the county executive's recommended level and providing another $20 million in resources to address the school system's employee health benefits challenges inevitably created challenges for us and tough choices, and many worthy initiatives that many of us strongly support couldn't ultimately be funded as a result. But by working together in a collaborative, methodical, and purposeful way, we've achieved a consensus that makes key investments in our core priorities: education, public safety, affordable housing, health and human services, while also jumpstarting economic development to grow our tax base, which is essential to maintaining our quality of life and continuing to provide critical services. On the capital side, we're funding 18 individual school projects, investing in more than $165 million for school systemic infrastructure projects to better care for our aging facilities. I will close by thanking the record number of Montgomery County residents who participated in our budget process and all of our dedicated, hardworking professionals here at the County Council who truly represent the finest policy experts and public servants that you will find anywhere in any legislative body or any government. With that, I'll turn to the budget resolutions for approval. Item 1 is action on the final budget. We are going to go through the items. The first 9 items on the resolutions are to approve the FY25 capital budget and FY25 capital improvements program for Montgomery County Government, Montgomery County Public Schools, Montgomery College, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, the county's Revenue Authority, the Housing Opportunities Commission, the aggregate capital budget for county general obligation bonds, the aggregate capital budget for park and planning bonds, and FY25 state participation. I would like to propose that we vote on items 1 through 9 en bloc, unless there are any objections. Seeing no objections, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Vice President Stewart.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Balcom. All those in favor of taking action on items 1 through 9, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Next up are resolutions to approve the FY25 operating budget for Montgomery County Government, Montgomery County Public Schools, Montgomery College, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, the administrative expense budget of the Washington Suburban Transit Commission, and the aggregate operating budget spending affordability guidelines. Before I entertain a motion to vote on these items, I would like to note that Section G of Resolution Number 10 lists all non-competitive contract awards that will be funded by county government under the FY25 budget. These are awards that have been deemed by the Chief Administrative Officer to serve the public interest. Section G for FY25 does include a contract between the county government and Bethesda Green. Because I serve on the board of Bethesda Green in my individual capacity, I want to recuse myself from considering or voting on the Bethesda Green contract, which is reflected on page 4 of the attached amendment to Section G in Resolution number 10. Any other issues that anybody needs to raise? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion with my abstention on Section G as noted.
So moves.
Moved by Councilmember Fonda Gonzalez. Second. Seconded by Councilmember Albernaz. All those in favor? Oh, Councilmember Joanna.
This is for the in block, for the operating?
Yes.
Okay. So last week, I voted in the straw vote to approve a budget. I believe that was thoughtful and well-intentioned. Still believe that with all the difficult decisions. I obviously strenuously objected to the MCPS part of the budget. As chair of the Education Committee, I've grown even more concerned over the last week about the decision around the MCPS budget. Colleagues received an email this morning, and conversations have been happening this week. The Board of Education is in closed session right now, discussing the impact of the level of funding that we approved preliminarily last week, saying that there's a potential of 143 teachers that will be RIF'd, fired, that are teaching today that won't be teaching next year. Hopefully that number will go down. And that 177 teachers who have been offered contracts for next year, those offers will be rescinded based on the budget level. If you take those numbers together, that's 320 teachers. Some will be called back. Some people will retire. Some people will move. But the bottom line is that a significant number of teachers will be gone. That will increase class sizes. People that we have offered contracts to will not be in the classroom next year if we don't do something about this. College tracks, restorative justice stipends, other student supports like social workers are in danger. And that we can't let this happen. I was at Blake High School yesterday for Career Day, and one thing I'm clear on is our students need more, not less. Our teachers need more support, not less. And the impact of these cuts are going to be felt in every school disproportionately to the kids that are most vulnerable. And so we can't allow that to happen, and because of this moving target, I'm going to abstain from the voting on the operating budget because I hope that the school system can figure this out, and before we get to July 1, there's a way to figure it out, but I just can't in good conscience vote for these level of cuts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Mink.
As Chair Joanna noted, we've gotten additional information. It's late breaking. None of us are pleased about that. We did know at the time of the straw vote that the level of funding that we were allocating for MCPS would result most likely in increased class sizes and other very concerning cuts at the same time. As colleagues have noted, we're working within a very tight budget, and we're seeing a lot of reductions that are concerning. So I voted in favor of, at the straw vote. We have since gotten information about what those increased class sizes would look like. That if this is truly unavoidable, then this is going to really prevent us from being able to hire in the future. This is going to impact our workforce moving forward. No teachers are going to come to Montgomery County if they know that your contract could be broken. If you know that our youngest teachers are quite possibly going to be fired due to underfunding in the coming years. I would like more information and much more detailed information. That's how I like to be able to make my decisions. My hope is that this is avoidable, and I know that there are concerns out there about whether or not is this really real, or is this crying wolf? Is this a Hail Mary attempt to get, to get more money at the budget? I want to just acknowledge all of those concerns. We're trying to pass a responsible budget here. I feel like I need more information because if this is what is really going to happen, if this really cannot be avoided, we can't let this happen because this will damage our school system for years and years to come. That said, I understand that I think this is a situation if we need more information, we need to figure out what the plan is, moving forward. For me personally, that results in me also, I'm going to abstain from this vote as well. But I certainly don't hold it against anyone voting for it to move forward. The case is such that I think that we need more information, and I'm going to work very hard over the coming days to get that and to see what, if anything, needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Glass.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are minutes away from approving our FY25 budget, the parameters of which were agreed to last week by the full council in straw votes. The week before, we had a full conversation with every department and agency to ask specific questions about their budget, which was predated by a series of committee hearings. And the school board is meeting now in emergency session to talk about a budget that they saw, participated in, and knew what was happening. And they're giving us information now about our decisions. Shame on them. Blindsiding us, blindsiding our educators, blindsiding the entire community. The county executive increased MCPS's budget by $128 million. We saw that as insufficient and added an additional $26 million. And I understand that there is concern about how much more is needed. We do need more information. That information should have been provided to us. I asked for that information. I've been asking for that information for years. It still has not been provided. Where is the oversight? Where is the transparency? Minutes before we approve the budget is not the time for it. It is a disservice to this body. It is a disservice to this community. We have no other option than funding this budget, which we've been deliberating on for months. We should not be in this situation. And I hope that we are not in this situation next year. Our educators deserve better, our students deserve better, and our community deserves better.
Thank you. Councilmember Joanno, briefly.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure my abstention was clear. This is for the item, for the MCPS item, not the entire block.
Okay. Okay. So,
Likewise, if I may. Make sure that's.
all right. So,
I just had a procedural question, whether we need to extract that item from the block vote.
I do believe that would be in order. So
Correct.
would you like
Okay.
to move to take item 11 out of the block
Yes.
and then seconded by Councilmember
Second.
Mink?
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion, the motion on that will be on the floor right now is items 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All those in favor of those items, please indicate by raising your hand. That is unanimous. I will entertain a motion to approve the MCPS budget, item 11.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Councilmember Lukey. Seconded by Councilmember Balcom. All those in favor of item 11? That is 9. All those opposed? No oppositions. All those abstaining? There are 2 abstentions on item 11. Okay, we are going to move on to items 16 to 21. These are resolutions to approve the FY25 to 30 Capital Improvements Program and FY25 capital and operating budgets for WSSC Water, the County Cable Communications Plan, a resolution to establish the FY25 property tax rates, a revised resolution to authorize the substitution of current revenue for general obligation bonds in FY24, a resolution to authorize the substitution of current revenue for general obligation bonds in FY25, and a resolution to set the amount of property tax credit for income tax offset. Is there a motion to approve these resolutions 16 to 21 en bloc?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lukey.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Katz. All those in favor of 16 to 21, please indicate by raising your hand. That is unanimous. Okay, we have a budget. A programming note before we adjourn, the council will be on recess from May 28th through June 7th, and will return to our regular business on June 10th. With that, congratulations, colleagues. We are now adjourned.